Hello everyone and welcome to Go Learning. Today we will discuss the topic evolution of tail and its different purposes for different animals. We all know life originated in the sea, so we can say that the tails originate from the sea. Primitive fish have existed long before land animals. Fish have evolved tails which they were allowed to move easily through the water. Later, the evolution of fish developed lizards, and from lizards have evolved mammals. Fish have evolved tails which they were allowed to move easily through the water. Tail wagging pushes forward. Later, the evolution of fish developed lizards, and from lizards have evolved mammals. In animals with spine, such as for example a cat, the tail is an extension of the spine. Over time, the tails of different animals have specifically adapted to perform different things. Meanwhile, the creatures which the tail did not need, they lost it during evolution. Do all animals have tails? No. There are a lot of animals that don't have tails, like guinea pigs, apes, frogs, snails, and octopuses. Let us see the evolution of tails in humans. It makes us question, do human embryos have tails and gills? Before it is born, every human embryo going through some period of the history of human evolution. At the very beginning, the tiny embryo that's around initial 4 weeks have gill slits like a fish, our remotest ancestors. And until the 4th week of development, human embryos, they have a small tail. The rest of our ancestors of mammals. Before gradually disappears, a tiny tail grows about 2 weeks. Since it only remain fused, bony growths at the end of the spine are called the tailbone. Animals that dig holes usually have a very short tail, but animals that climb trees or run on the ground often have a long tail, such as squirrels, monkeys, tigers, wolves, dogs. Inhabitants of trees, such as squirrels, use the tail to maintain balance on the branches and as a rudder when jumping through the air from branch to branch. In some animals, such as for example chameleons and spider monkeys, tail is adapted for catching, meaning that they serve as a reserve hand. Spider monkey can catch branch with tail and to wrap tail around it like a rope and completely safe hanging. Often the lizard will cut off its tail. How? Lizard's tail well serve to distract predators such as snakes, especially when half lizard went into the hole and the tail wags on all the sides. When predators catch it, the lizards reject the tail which is struggling on the ground and so for a moment confuse the predator and lizards they escape. Later it will simply grow a new one. Porcupines use its tail as a weapon, placing it so that plunge many sharp spikes in the nose of animals that attack it. Some dinosaurs wear its tail bristling with spine used as a mace. The tail can also be used for body language, for communication, just like a child who in a joyful mood leaps or a dog frantically wagging his tail showing excitement. Upright tail can mean that the dog is ready for the fight, as when a man clenches his fists to make it look more dangerous. Similarly, folding tail and bending down the head dog says he is afraid. The cat, however, switches its tail back and forth when upset or angry. It can swing its tail from side to side when looking at a prey, such as a delicious bird that carelessly bounces around her. Can you guess which animal has the longest tail? Longest tail of all the animals is up to 2.4 meters, which is a male giraffe. Giraffe also have the longest neck in the animal world. Thanks for watching Go Learning.